Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to talk about legendary battles, one of the best pieces of content in Marvel Future Fight that is consistently underrated and not talked about enough, and why they may actually be going away forever. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, this is the Black Panther legendary battle, a really iconic scene in Korea, in Seoul, South Korea, where you have Claw fighting against the vibranium equipped Black Panther. And this was a huge upgrade for Black Panther at the time, you know, catapulted him near the top of the meta, and had one of the most hilarious fights in the game because it's Black Panther versus an SUV. Now, of course, SUV does not do very well, does not fare too well. It's not clad in vibranium, but the legendary battles take place across the multiverse, I would say, of the Marvel universe. You have, you know, the Infinity War Endgame stuff, you have Thor Ragnarok that started it all, you have the Ant-Man and Wasp in the laboratory versus Ghost, you got Captain Marvel on the Kree ship versus Ronin. This really spans the entire phase 1 to 3 of the Marvel universe, including the Sonyverse with Spider-Man Far From Home. So it's really, really cool. This is one of the... It has this one right here. I can't even put it into words. I'm stumbling over myself because it's one of the most fun missions in the in Marvel, in any Marvel game right here. This takes me back to Spyhunter, which is like a 2001 arcade game. Look at this. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. This sort of stuff is what puts Marvel Future Fight apart from other games. This content is, you know, this isn't the most rewarding content ever, but this is super fun, super unique. Those two things you cannot argue, right? Those are not really up for debate. Super fun and super unique, and that's really the charm of something like Legendary Battle. But it's not all about charm, because the rewards in Legendary Battle are also really good. Most notably, we've seen CTPs become a central part of the legendary battles, and for a pretty reasonable price of 2,500 crystals, you can get a bunch of rewards, including a refund on your crystals, including, you know, tier 3 materials, icons, and things like that, and you can specifically target a CTP. Now, you can't farm it long term, but you can get one for free. You can even get selectors that are on discount from something like the Spider-Man Extreme Legendary Battle, and actually there are still rewards from these that I haven't picked up years later. So there's a lot going on here. But why am I talking about this? Well, they may be going away. They may be going away forever. Now, I want to give a shout out to whoever posted this on Reddit, because this is what sparked my interest in making this a wider video when I saw that the community reaction and the community engagement with this topic was already pretty high. And I want to reflect the community's sort of feelings, and if a lot of people are talking about something, then I think it's my job to also talk about it so that even more people can see it, and maybe we can get an answer from the devs or something like that. So this was posted just under a day ago by Zombie 117. Are we just not gonna get any more new legendary battles? And they go on to have a pretty spirited debate and discussion about it. You know, 60 upvotes, more than 50 comments. This doesn't seem like a lot, but for Reddit, it is, because the Reddit is pretty dead these days. A lot of people have just migrated to Discord and just better forms of social media engagement. So yeah, Reddit has sort of taken a back seat as far as this game goes, and other games, let's be honest. Reddit has not been very active in the last sort of year-ish. But it really brings up a good question. Shang-Chi was the last legendary battle we had, and it may seem like an overreaction to ask this since Shang-Chi's legendary battle came out like less than a year ago, right? It was September 2021, but since then, we have seen a bit of a change, a bit of a gear shift in the pattern. So for Eternals, instead of getting a legendary battle, which we all thought we were going to get, we got an epic quest, and that's fine. The epic quest was fantastic, and we may see this happen again because it seems like epic quests are more favored by Netmarble than we thought. Like I really thought that the Star-Lord one was going to be the last epic quest. I was like, there's no way they're going to keep pumping out epic quests. There's already 5 of them, but no. Since then we got 2 more, and we're averaging like 1 epic quest a year. Which is a lot more than I thought for a 7-year-old game. But then after Eternals, we got nothing for Spider-Man No Way Home. And now with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, thus far, we've also gotten nothing. Now, I could be wrong about this. We could be on the cusp of getting a Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness legendary battle, but I'm not 100% sure we are going to get one, because the legendary battles never worry about spoilers because they always just write their own script, right? In the end game script, Tony kills Thanos and then takes the glove and undoes what Thanos did and saves the day, and no one has to die, right? So it's not that far off from what actually happens, but it's always a reimagining. It's always a reimagining of the events that take place because they're not allowed to spoil the movies anyways. So I'm really wondering why would they wait this long to release it? If they were going to release a Multiverse of Madness legendary battle, why wait for the movie to come out? It doesn't really make a difference, right? It's better to strike while the iron's hot and release the content than it is to hold out on it knowing that either way it wasn't going to contain spoilers. Would they hold off on it to insert spoilers into it? No, I don't think so. Like I've said, the legendary battles are really fun for the players, and I genuinely think that the devs put a lot of heart and soul into it because we see so much variety. You know, you have that top-down mini game with Black Widow. You have Shang-Chi going to temples fighting against his father Wenwu. Like, you have a really wide variety, and they even create brand new stages for these legendary battles that we've never seen before, right? Like, really, when I say these legendary battles are underappreciated, I'm deadly serious, right? They make new music. There's really so much content here that I honestly wish was in other parts of the game because it's so good. Look at this. Thanos. Oh, it reveals that he was using the reality stone. And everything changes. Boom. And now you're fighting the real Thanos. This is so cool, dude. Like, this is wild. This is wild, right? This is insane. And he's slow. One by one, he slowly beats up your allies. And then just Tony is left. And then you're in trouble. And you have this little mini game here. Like, this is crazy. They've borrowed parts of this for other game modes for sure. But really, this is the closest we've seen. This is so cool, man. Honestly, I really wish that this had more attention because this is the closest you're going to get to an actual simulation of the MCU movies. Like, you can sort of simulate the MCU movies on your own by fighting different bosses and things like that. Oh, I think I goofed up. See? Even to this day, you can make a mistake and you can get snapped by Thanos. You're supposed to go into you're supposed to use Doctor Strange's time circles, but later I went into them too quickly and I wasn't able to use the time stone to protect myself from the snap. Anywho, I can't say enough. I can't say enough good things about these legendary battles, but what I can say for sure is they probably don't make that much money for Marvel Future Fight. Now, this is really where we get into like hugely speculative territory. Of course, I was already speculating when I said that we may not be getting something for Multiverse of Madness, but for only 2,500 crystals, that's the price of a Stark stash. So if you put it in that perspective, at the very like the baseline price, you can obviously spend more money. You can buy something that's more expensive in the shop to get those 2,500 crystals, but 2,500 crystals is about a Stark stash, which is about $5 to $6 depending where you live. That's really not that much. And for the amount of effort put into these, like I said, new music, new stages, new locations, new environments, new stage mechanics, new camera angles, all this stuff, right? A lot of this stuff gets recycled, but some of it doesn't. And a lot of it gets featured for the very first time in these types of game modes, or in this game mode specifically, before it gets featured in other types of game modes. So maybe the cost-benefit analysis from a marketing perspective isn't really panning out. Now, I know that's not what players want to hear. I know that's not necessarily a justification. Like, not everything that the game brings to the game, not everything that the devs bring to the game has to be money first and profit first. A lot of it does, I would say, to justify and to reassure investors and shareholders and all that stuff, right? But some of it doesn't, right? Some of it is just for the fans. Some of it is fluff. Some of it is quality of life. And those quality of life changes are more about like retaining your player base, making them happy so that they keep playing, and some of them keep spending because they know the reality. Most players who play mobile games, free-to-play mobile games, don't spend money. So that is definitely the reality. But the reality is also we've gotten 3 movies now, 2.5 if you don't quite count Spider-Man, which is again is another fair comparison. We did get one from Far From Home. We didn't get one from Homecoming, but Homecoming came out before Ragnarok. right? Ragnarok was right at the end of 2017. So I'm not 100% sure that we have a basis yet for assuming that these are gone. On the other hand, it kind of feels like they are gone. I don't know. Every time we get a new legendary battle, I'm like, man, this list over here just keeps growing and growing. And I thought maybe after Ant-Man or Captain Marvel, it was over, because that's what really added that scroll wheel. But then they just kept going and going and going. Actually, you know what? I probably thought Endgame was the last one, because that was the end of Phase 4 as well, right? But no, since then we've gotten 3 more. Time will really tell for this. It's really a question of if, not when. But for Thor, Love and Thunder, which is fast approaching, we're maybe 2 months out of that movie coming out, that'll really show us if there has been, that'll be the true test of whether or not there has been a shift in the legendary battles from releasing with every MCU movie to maybe not releasing anymore, or only releasing one MCU related legendary battle a year. Maybe they're shifting the gears and they want to just release legendary battles like they release epic quests. I don't know. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below with your theories and ideas on the legendary battles. I genuinely really like them, and I have been playing them more because of the Shield archive. So if you're wondering how you can squeeze more value out of these, you can go farm the Captain Marvel one to get the web shooters. You can farm the Black Panther one, which I'm doing right now, to get the antimatter bomb. And you can also farm, there's one more, the quantum bands in the... I can't remember which legendary battle drops the quantum bands. But yeah, there is one that drops, I think it's the Ant-Man one that drops the quantum bands. There's a lot of references here. There's a lot of lore. I honestly really like the legendary battle. I guess probably the only thing that would make this game mode more popular, and why maybe it's not, is the daily rewards, because the one-time rewards, like I said, are fantastic. Some of the best one-time rewards in the game are here, and they're at a very competitive cost to the player. But I think the day-to-day rewards are not that spicy. So maybe if they could be bumped up a little bit, or changed a little bit, or have some sort of, like, you know, tracker that, you know, once you do 100 legendary battles in a month, you get some sort of bigger reward. I'm not sure. Or maybe that's just not what it's meant to be. That's always a possibility. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoy, or I look forward to the discussion about this, and maybe we get an answer from the devs from the next dev note. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.